Today I'm going to be speaking about my third trimester. I'm on a bit of a toll today with all my pregnancy related videos. I really want to get all these videos out there as content for you guys to help, new mothers or people who are planning to, mothers or women who are planning to, become pregnant or are pregnant and want to see, want to find out what it's like to be in that certain trimester before my baby arrives, because I know I'm going to be super busy with life, so I'd rather just get it out of the way. So I just wanted this to be like a chit chat video of me just speaking about my third trimester. Now I'm 34 weeks pregnant at the moment, so officially 34 weeks, smoothly progressing on to 35 weeks, and there's lots of differences in terms of symptoms. Now in my first trimester I experienced severe nausea, but I did not really vomit that much, so I did not spit up that much. I still was able to gain weight. I was able to eat, even though the things that I was eating were quite limited. I was actually focusing more on carbs and just bread and cheese and just olives. Anything that's not really high in water content was probably making me feel the best. I couldn't actually start with fruit during the day. I would need to go for eggs, and even eggs sometimes were difficult because anything with a scent or smell was difficult to eat and consume. Anything that is very acidic, anything that was very acidic, so in terms of like acidic in terms of like tomatoes, oranges, anything that would produce bile or like acid reflux, that would be very difficult if I had it in the morning. So I had to consume, like, literally bread was probably the only thing that was making me feel good. Bread, carbs, anything that had no smell. And yeah, that's practically about 2 months. That was practically 2 months of my life, from about 7 weeks till I think it was like 16 weeks pregnant, if I'm not wrong. 14 to 16 weeks. I don't remember the exact, time period. On top of that, I experienced, I'm a very active person normally, but I experienced, a real fatigue. When I mean real fatigue, like I experienced fatigue to the maximum. I literally couldn't lift up my arm. I would want to lie down on the sofa and not get up the whole day. I did not want to do anything. I did not want to clean. I found it so hard to cook. Cooking was just out of the context for me, even though I would force myself to do it for me and my partner, but it was just difficult, and I'm not going to like undermine that, but it's such a beautiful journey, so I think it's all worth it. And when I look back, I say, would I do it again? I'm absolutely 100% I would do it again. So don't think that you don't forget. Your body's very good at forgetting pain and that brings me on to like birth, which I hope my body's very good at forgetting pain, because I'd rather forget the pain that I'm just about to feel. But yeah, so that was my first trimester. As I said, I didn't have it the worst. I wasn't spewing everywhere. I know some people have really struggled so much during their, pregnancies, and they've been hospitalized because they physically can't eat or drink. That was not the case for me. I was still able to keep certain things down, which I'm so happy about, because I mean, vitamins and just general folic acid and vitamin D was quite hard to take during the first stages, because of course they're tablets. But I find that if you take them on a full stomach or semi-full stomach, it's better for the vitamins to be absorbed, but also for you to be able to consume the vitamins or vitamins in the first place. So the difference is, in my second trimester I was much more active. A lot of my symptoms just dissipated smoothly. And you know what? I felt normal for the first time, and I thought, yes, I'm no longer having these gastric problems. I still had to eat. I mean, I still to this day have to eat first thing when I wake up, like, within the hour. But apart from that, anyway, you should, because that's what's healthy. But I just feel like it was just in second trimester way better. Way better. I was able to exercise every 2 to 3 days. I don't typically like going out to walk. I mean, England is very cold, so just in general it's quite difficult, and it's just rainy and just a hot mess. But I was doing a pregnancy Zumba workout that I'll link down below because I really enjoyed that. I was doing some stretches, some arm workouts, just workouts here and there right before I'd get into the shower, just to kind of make me feel a bit more like productive. And really, I feel like working out really helps, like alleviate a lot of your symptoms. Like, just if you have any issues with like mood swings, depression, or if you're just feeling down, or the baby blues, like blues in general, any kind of like, you know, really just lethargic feeling. I feel like when you work out, because your body pumps those endorphins, you're really able to feel tired and then sleep a lot better. Talking about sleep in the third trimester is not so easy. First of all, I've experienced a lot of like hip pain, a lot of like random leg pain during sleep, which sounds really weird. And I want to also mention another symptom that I've not really heard of like online, but I've just, when I'm lying down to my right or left side, I start sometimes getting this numbness, you know, around the chest area. And I've heard that it can be because the baby's, you know, growing and pressing on your nerves. So that may be a reason. You know, when I went to the midwife and doctors, they couldn't really determine what the factor was. But I have read that it's quite normal because, of course, your whole organs and your, you know, whole body is shifting. So internally you're shifting, and it is a big process. So I don't think it's out of the norm, as long as all of your other checks are normal and you don't have issues with those. But yeah, I started feeling this weird sensation, and I would have like, I still have these little butterfly like flickers in my heart, you know, my heartbeat, which just randomly just flicker. I also read that that's quite normal. They did want to send me to an ECG, but I've got a very low risk pregnancy, and to be honest, I'm just like, going to the hospital is probably the last thing I want to do right now because I'm just tired and just, yeah. So I'm feeling good myself, but yeah, I definitely did feel these symptoms. Now, as I said, in third trimester, it's a lot more difficult to start sleeping. And no matter what kind of pillow you have to assist the sides, I feel like when you're turning, literally, physically, your bones down below hurt. Like, if anyone's pregnant, you would definitely agree with me on this one. Your bones just ache, like physically, your pelvic bones and your lower abdominal bones and bones around that area just hurt a lot when you're trying to turn, because I'm trying to use my leg muscles rather than my, you know, abdominal muscles, because I don't want to have this diastasis recti business going on. I don't really want to damage myself, but turning around is a whole mission. So sleep in third trimester has literally dropped down to like 5 to 6 hours a night, and that is the norm for me at the moment. And if I sleep that's great. So half the time I feel quite lightheaded and quite like slightly nauseous because I haven't slept enough. I do try to get my sleep during the day. On days like these, like today, I haven't slept much. I do try to sleep in between, like have a nap during the day as well. So I'm trying my best, but sleep has become quite difficult. I have been listening to these, I think it's solfeggio or solfreggio frequencies. If you like anything about energy or any of those businesses, I will literally just link them down below. It might help you. When I listen to that, I fall asleep like this. I mean, it's really good to take my mind off my phone and everything that I've just watched or done during the day, and just general like stress or build up of the day, and just really relax, go into a relaxing state. So definitely look into those. I will link those down below. Get yourself a really comfortable pillow and make sure you have a couple around you if you don't have a pregnancy pillow. I don't really feel that I need a pregnancy pillow because I know it's not going to be 100% comfortable right now, because the baby is growing, you know, growing at a really high rate at the moment, and my stomach is going double in size. So I'm already going through that process, and it's something just that, you know, you have to accept, because even showering becomes quite difficult when you're trying to like get into the bathtub and get back out. So you're lucky if you've got just a flat platform kind of like shower or bathtub or whatever you want to call it, but I mean, I don't. So it's just, the space. Actually, I need to get onto my knees to actually have that kind of like comfortable shower position and bath position. But I would say like a really warm bath really helps. I know there's some controversy about how warm the bath should be, but I've not had problems unless it's really steaming hot, which I would avoid at this stage because I don't want to really have early contractions prior to my 37-week mark. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be consuming dates, 3 mature dates a day. That's about 60 grams if I'm not wrong. I will link down some studies about that as well. It really helps shorten the period of labor, something that we all want to, really anticipate towards. I also will be doing some pelvic exercises, some squats, and some, really labor assisted, labor based exercises that I feel will really help, like, open the pelvis. You really want that space to be open. I really think in third trimester, actually more than every other trimester, stretching really helps. When you stretch, all of your lower back pain, it's just lightened, so you're going to have just a more comfortable day and a more comfortable sleep, and that's kind of where we want to get to with third trimester. Okay, and as I said, it's a really, really beautiful journey, so please don't take any of my points negatively. I just feel like I'm just starting to feel tired again. I'm quite out of breath already. Just one moment. Yeah, I'm starting to feel tired again. So I'm starting to feel those symptoms I felt in the first trimester. I would say I do have slightly more swelling. Not really that much more because I already feel that I'm quite swollen, but that can be also to do with my salt intake. I do eat a lot of salty food, and I do prefer that during this pregnancy. I love sweet and salty foods. Definitely my legs, I do feel around my ankles that I'm having these, swelling, and my feet. It's not major swelling, but to avoid it, I would do some, spinach and like parsley juices or smoothies, kale, just consume lots of greens and like green apples and ginger and mint. I think these things are really, really help, really help with like, edema and just flushing out those, how can I explain? Flushing out the excess water weight that you've got on. But I mean, it's normal that you're going to have water weight at this stage. So I don't expect from me to be like in my third trimester and looking like a skinny queen right now, because let's just be honest, there's like a whole big bump just like encompassing my stomach area, and I literally normally have the flattest stomach ever. So I'm, it's a big change. It is a big change. And when you're bending down, definitely use your knees, and do take assistance from your arms when you're pulling yourself up, because you don't really want to focus too much tension on here on your stomach area and damage any of your muscles. So those are the symptoms. Apart from that, yeah, hunger has increased. Hunger, I mean, I'm always a hungry person. I've got really high metabolism. I would say that I eat more than the average man, in a normal day, on a normal day. And now that I'm pregnant, I consume about twice that amount. So that's totally fine. But, some days when you've eaten really, really bad, then you need to get yourself back onto track and make sure you've consumed all of those vegetables and vitamins and just good food that's really going to, support the development of your baby. Protein is very important. So whatever, your selected options are for that, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or just, normal, consuming normal meat. I would go for like boiled chicken, eggs, cheese. I'm trying to switch from like cheese to like a Violife and just like vegan cheese, because I kind of feel that sits better with my body. And just preparing for like breastfeeding. Hopefully I'm going to breastfeed, so I really don't want my baby to have colic, and I'm trying to avoid all of the dairy products and issues that may be arisen by the fact that I'm consuming cheese and cheese byproducts and dairy products. So that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. I'm also going to try the raspberry leaf tea method. I don't know how well it is going to help during my labor, but I'm also going to link some details there down below. Raspberry leaf tea is again said to really, help with the labor process. There are some, I think there's some studies, I'm not sure, but I mean, on dates, I've definitely seen studies. And I know that dates are really high in like vitamins and rich in minerals, so they're really, really important to really give you that sugar boost and energy that you need for your labor process in the first place. I will also be packing my hospital bag. Actually, I've packed most of it, you know, for the baby, but I'm also going to be packing myself really comfortable outfits, and also lots of protein bars, lots of snack bars, lots of healthy snacks, but you know, things that would still be giving my body nutrition. I feel like sometimes substituting chocolate for like protein bars, it's a really good method, even though protein bars do have a lot of additives, so please do your own research to see how comfortable you are consuming these foods. But I just feel like, for example, like if I've got this like Turkish delight chocolate, you know, squares, bars, whatever, that's about 150 grams. So here is about 75 grams right now, and I mean 100 grams is about 475 calories, and 75 grams is really, really close to that. So I mean 450 calories for like that, that's not going to even like fill you up that much, which is fine. I do consume that on some days, I'm not going to lie. But just getting yourself like a 230, 210 calorie, you know, nice protein bar in like a birthday cake flavor, or like a peanut butter flavor, it really helps, like with a nice cup of tea or anything warm, or like a mint tea, peppermint tea, chamomile tea. It just helps to kind of like give you that sugar craving without constantly consuming chocolate, if that makes sense. So I found that really, really helps. So I've got boxes and boxes of protein bars. Actually, so these are just some that I've got. Actually, looking back at it, I consume this one the most, and I'll tell you why. I'm not promoting the brand, by the way. This is PhD Smart. PhD Smart high protein, low sugar bars, and they've got 20 grams of protein, 2.2 grams of net sugars. Now you have to research the net sugars, because they do have other types of sugars, which, yeah, probably not the best for you. But I mean, again, chocolate bar or protein bar, protein, at least you're, you know, providing your baby with some nutrients. And this is in the birthday cake flavor, so they just come in one of those. You can consume the whole bar, it's only 230 calories, or you can consume half a bar with like a banana, so that you've got kind of like that, you curb the craving, but you also don't over consume on something that's not particularly the most healthiest either. So I've got that in birthday cake, chocolate peanut butter. And the reason why I said I prefer this one is because it's palm oil free. So we'd like to just focus on the healthier things. But chocolate peanut butter, which I haven't tried yet, and my absolute favourite, but as I said, I'm not consuming this yet, or that much of it. My absolute favourite, white chocolate blondie. I do love all of these flavours, all of these protein bars so much. So I'll definitely link my favourite protein bars down below as well. I know that Garden's Nature, if I'm not wrong, have some protein substitutes. I've tried them personally. You know, the protein powder and vanilla, I mean, I'd like to lie right now, I know it's really much healthier, and I know it's, you know, they've cut out all the crap, but it almost tastes like shredded dried sweet corn with protein and peas and hemp, and it's just a really strong flavor to really handle as a pregnant woman. So you might want to mix that with chocolate, like milk or something, or just like some chocolate milkshake or something, and just try to make it a bit more like bearable, or just put it into some oats with some honey or something. Just use a lot less of it, so that the taste is not so overpowering. But you can look into some healthier, of course, protein bar. You know, like you can look into, for example, Eat Natural. I'll link those down below as well. They're really good. They're kind of like nut bars. They're quite high in calories, but they also give you that, you know, curb your sweet cravings. I do snack on a lot of nuts, so I will snack on like walnuts, cashews, just a couple a day, just to make sure like I'm getting, sometimes more than a couple, I'm not going to lie, but just to make sure I'm getting those nice nutrients for my baby. And yeah, like, don't be too harsh on yourself. It's just a whole journey in itself. So I'm just trying my best. And if I'm craving pizza, I'm going to eat it. And if I'm craving ice cream, I'm going to eat it. Yes, we can find healthier versions of certain things. If I have access to it, I will pick the healthier version. I feel like the fruit pots, like fruit yogurt pots, they're really, really good. You can get them, you know, low sugar ones, or you can, I mean, sweeteners are a whole nother controversy that you need to look into yourself. But just Activia, for example, they're really nice in like blackberry, raspberry, fig, walnut, different flavors. So, you know, they can really help with like probiotics. I do actually consume. I've started consuming during like the end of my, I think from the end of my or mid second trimester till now, every couple of days I do. So I am taking this specific probiotic. I'm going to link this down below as well. I really trust this brand. Sorry, it was not Nature Gardens. Nature is Garden of Life, and that's the protein shake I was talking about. I'll link that down below as well if you're really interested in trying. Maybe you could try the chocolate one, because the vanilla one just didn't float my boat. But this is really good to help with allergies with a baby. I do consume peanut butter. I don't have any issues with it, and I'm trying to consume it during this pregnancy, you know, simply on toast or just, you know, a bagel or something like that with bananas or honey, because I found out that if you consume the allergy causing foods while pregnant, your baby's actually less likely to have that allergy. So I'd rather just introduce it into my diet, and I love peanut butter. I've got like the protein based ones, I've got the normal ones, so it's not really an issue for me. But this once a day prenatal, like that, as I said, it's 20 billion guaranteed, 16 probiotic strains. You can get probiotics from natural, you know, kefir and, you know, just yogurt products. But if you wanted to just take one of these are gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, non-GMO. Actually, as I said, Garden of Life is a really good brand to look into while pregnant for their prenatals, for everything. Actually, I do take vitBiotics prenatals, which I will link down below as well. And I do actually take, I think it's Omvita algae oil omega-3 DHA, if I'm not wrong. And that's very important for the development of your baby's brain and eyes. So yeah, this has 20 different strains. I don't take it daily. I take it every, I'd say a couple of days. You know, since I've started, every couple of days, because it is a 20 million count. And I was actually taking antibiotics for my group B streptococcus. Was it streptococcus or strep? I had a bacterial infection, you know, just some infection down below that I'm susceptible to and have been susceptible to all my life. So I will be offered antibiotics during my birth, and I anticipate on having a not home birth, sorry. I anticipate on having a water birth with no epidural and no painkillers. But we're going to see that, because I feel like I'm just becoming a bit too ambitious now. Yeah, a little bit too ambitious for my little body. But I'm just really going to think about all those sulfur growth frequencies and just like positive vibes to really assist me through my birth, and hopefully have a natural birth. Most importantly, delayed cord cutting. I've read about that. Please look into it. Once the baby's out, if you've just had a normal birth, please avoid having the cord cut directly, because there's still iron transfer going on and blood transfer, and, you know, transfer from the actual cord itself. So if you cut the umbilical cord too early, then you're cutting out a lot of the things that should be going to your baby. So I think if you can delay as much as you can, I think that's about 20 to 30 minutes, then that's a real benefit until it's all drained. And then, yeah, just snip it off and your baby has arrived. This is so exciting for me. I mean, this is my first baby, and I really hope some of these tips have helped you guys. If you want to see any other videos, just thinking about, you know, my future birth and my baby, it just makes me like get all emotional. So I know that a lot of women are in this, you know, in this case and in this boat during this pandemic, actually. So it's whole crazy, because in the UK we're going back into lockdown for a month till the 2nd of December, and my due date is like the 11th of December. So my baby is still going to be a lockdown baby some way, somehow, which is totally fine as long as my baby comes by safely. I'm sorry to everyone who thinks this has been a long video. There's just a lot to cover, a lot for me to mention. As I said, if you have any questions, if you want to ask anything, see any other videos, see what's in my hospital bag, or what I eat in a day, as of, you know, during my 3rd trimester, during my pregnancy, please do let me know down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like as per usual. I hope I've helped someone out there, and lots of love and peace to all of you.